before we go into JavaScript, I think we need to finish up with CSS and styles before we move on to programming. I don't want to do programming and then start coming back into styles. Again, remember, really none of this, these tags need to be remembered for your exam, but knowing what these do and how they work is required for your exam, particularly when it comes to databases. So you think about it, you'll be collecting information like first name, username, password, and sending that to a database, and this is how it's done in a web page. And there are also databases which are not web-based, which we will look at. We'll look at Microsoft Access, for example, which is more of a DBMS than it is a database, and that means a DBMS contains reports and forms, etc., to help you manage the database, whereas as we shall see later, this is really raw stuff. There's nothing to help you. You have to create everything yourself. So a database is you do it yourself. A DBMS is pretty much everything is done for you. You just fill in boxes. But I want to go on to styles because you will need to know about style sheets and what they do. However, again, you will not be expected to deal with them. First of all, style sheets was something new. I'm going to go back to sort of 1994 again. Everything I've done so far is 1994. None of this is new HTML at all. It's all old stuff. And the CSS, or standing for cascading style sheets, which we've got here, is new. It came in a lot later with browsers. Lots of browsers did not support it initially. Maybe two browsers like Firefox and Internet Explorer, and then most browsers now actually manage CSS. And I think most browsers on sort of watches and things like that also play with CSS. But sometimes the CSS breaks, and that's when you don't see anything appear on the screen in the fashion that you expect it. So we're going to work our way into CSS. The first thing that happened before CSS, when we just had HTML, was that we could add a style attribute to a tag. So for example, I could type in style as an attribute and then give it some information inside here. And there were specific words you've got to use, and they were American. So for example, I think background, I need to spell background correctly, background color. Notice the hyphen between the two, and it should because you're using Notepad, it should pull up some help for you so that you can actually know what you want. Background color and not equals, it was separated with a colon, and then you could change whatever color it was going to be. So let's just call it blue, and we had a semicolon at the end. It's not programming language, it is a style technique. So if I save that, let's go back to my page here and refresh that. There you go. I've managed to make pretty much a mess of everything. It's all gone blue, doesn't look very nice at all. I think there's a nicer one, powder blue, which is what I was going for, but I can't remember. Powder blue, there we go. There's no hyphen in it. So if I save that and refresh, there we go, that's a lot nicer. So that has changed the background colour, and I can apply styles all over the place in any sort of tag, and there's lots of different styles and lots of different attributes with these tags. And again, I've got no intention of teaching you it all. You will find them in the W3 schools if you are interested. So I can do the same with this. The table style equals background color Let's make that one yellow with a semicolon at the end. And if I make any spelling mistakes here, it's just not going to work. There you go, my table is now yellow. And I can keep changing and formatting my page with these styles. So maybe I want to have a different colour for each row. Maybe if I do this one, style, style equals, well, let's just copy it, it's a lot quicker. Background colour, pink. Now some of these colours might not exist. I didn't notice anything crop up there, so yeah, I've got red, that's fine. So pink doesn't seem to exist. And I'm going to put my speech mark on the end there. Let's just copy and paste that again. For the next row, I've got light red. Oh, I've got lime, that would be nice. And finally, this row, change that style. Let's have that a green. Oh, grey. There we go. Notice American spelling of grey. So if I save that and reload my page, then there you go. That's pretty awful. But I can do the same with the fonts. I can change the font colours just with the style. Again, if you go to Forms and click on Styles, then it's going to give you the information that you need to change them. So we've used the background. So don't forget, it looks like this. You need style equals, in quotes, what you're trying to change, the background color, the font, and then the value, which is here we see a color powder blue or something else like that. The thing is that these are CSS properties, cascading style sheet properties. I think the old style still work with, I think, body equals BG color. Let me just try that one out. So I think, because that is a style, I think I could have just changed the BG color equal to red. And that is the old-fashioned, I do believe. Yeah, there we go. So there was an old-fashioned style, and then there's a cascading style sheet, CSS style. And the CSS style, you need to say style, and then in quotes, give the attribute or the property that you're trying to change, and then the color. But the properties are different to the old values. This was background color, as you can see here, the word background color, but in the old styles, in the old days, it was just BG color. I know that doesn't mean a lot to you, but you may come across it from time to time. So it's old style, new style, cascading style sheet, and it's the cascading style sheet that I want to talk about shortly.